got a kid, so I'm doing okay with the car, and I'm that's very good.
My name is Amitabh Kumar. I own a TUV 300 since the last 2 years, and we are at 90,191 kilometers.
When did you buy this car?
It was August of 2016. This is a diesel, yeah. This is manual, yes. I would highly recommend manual because all the complaints I've ever heard about TUV come from the automatic. That it does not really play that well in the hills, especially on sharp turns. But this one, absolutely no troubles going up steep angles. I have got 14 to 15 mileage in the hills, even with the aircon on. On the highway, I have got the highest of 18, which was recently between Delhi to Lucknow. The servicing, I think the first one happened at 20,000 and then it is 10,000. And the experience has been mixed. I'll be really open about this one. I get my servicing done here in Okhla and at the Mahindra service center. Now, somehow it happened that the first 2 times they did do some small mess ups, forgot to clean the car inside or forgot to change the air filter, which you need to do regularly in Delhi. And this is where Twitter came into play. I tweeted to Anand Mahindra and Mahindra Care, and since then my last 8 experiences have been super positive. The cost has varied. I think I would say the average has been 5,000 rupees. The first few ones were free. The last one was actually quite expensive. I think it gave me a dent of about 30,000 rupees because the clutch plate had to be changed. This is at 85,000 I got the last one done. An added input I would give, if you live in Delhi or any dusty city, please get your air filter changed. Air filter pretty much decides on the mileage you get out of an SUV of Mahindra. So I get it changed as often as possible. It's recommended at 40,000, but I get mine changed at 10,000 itself. It's just an 800 rupees cost, which is recovered well in your mileage. Brezza had just come out. There was Ecosport in the market, Duster as well as Scorpio. And there were different reasons for giving away the other ones. Also Thar, yes, because it looks so good. So I'll start with the Brezza. Very good, but the waiting period was just too long because I wanted to buy my car pretty much in that week, and that's why Brezza went out, but a really good SUV. Thar looks good but completely impractical for this dusty city we live in called Delhi, but had a good height. Scorpio, surprisingly for a guy my size, just did not provide enough space. So I grew up driving Bolero and Armada, and this is something which really has a lot of space for the driver. Ecosport, what I heard about the servicing of it. So for a driver, the servicing cost is also extremely important, and that was extremely expensive. Plus, the network of Ford is not as good as the network of Mahindra. Hence, it came down to TUV. Duster had a good feel, but it drives a little low. Now, the good part about the TUV, or that is true for every Mahindra, is the very high riding space. So you get a good view of the road, which is kind of required if you are grown up on that, plus if you are used to driving a big car. Getting in for a tall guy like myself, it is superbly comfortable because it is high. The seat is extremely comfortable because of, number one is the thigh support. Now this is essential on the long drives because your left leg pretty much just sits around there, and all that you are going around is with your right leg. So if it's not getting exercise, it's good that it is getting some sort of support. Secondly, the armrest. Now for a Mahindra at this price, the interiors are really comfortable, and the armrest is made in a perfect manner. You can grip the steering with it, as well as it helps your perfect motion. The lumbar support is something which is really good for tall people, as it ensures that your sitting posture is perfect and you can take those long drives without really getting into a spasm. Long hands, so it is required that you have this wonderful spacing right here for the steering wheel, and this makes it extremely important for tall people, and it fits in well. Plus, as you can see, I have pushed my car seat right at the back, so there is a lot of space for tall guys, but even for people who are a little shorter than me, you can adjust it.
What about the cushioning of the seats?
Oh, there it is pretty much a 5, because I have a friend of mine who owns a top-end Skoda, and every time he sits in the front, he always says amazing how comfortable these seats are. The cushioning of the seats is really, really good. This was one of the reasons why I wanted to get this Jeep, is because of this space. For tall people, usually you get into the car, you have to adjust your head all the time. But here, it sits pretty well, and also for my eye level, it is really nice when I'm driving. So it's up and high, and you have a beautiful outlook towards the street and the road. It's as back as it comes.
Okay.
So thankfully, I never have to sit at the back, but I'm never comfortable even in the bigger SUVs. But here, my knees are touching the front seat.
So when there's a 5'7", 5'8" in the front,
And then you have a good 4 fingers, even for somebody like myself when I'm sitting in.
how's the AC of the car?
Oh, it cools. I mean, right now the summers have already started to hit Delhi, and where I have it is in the middle. If you put it on the coldest, within 5 minutes on the highway and within 7 minutes inside the city, it'll chill the whole car.
Give me a rating.
Probably 3.5 when it comes to the air conditioning and the posture at the back. Comfort-wise, it is in a completely different class of its own. The look and feel of the car is exactly as its tagline. It stands for toughness. It is pretty much like all my friends call it. It's the Indian Hummer. It has a really bold presence on the street. This one especially because the blue stands out. Full marks on the designing. This is of course 2 years old when it came out. Now we have seen better branding come up in spaces like these. So there was a lot of extra plastic which you can see. Probably a better mudguard design could have been thought about. But generically it speaks to the design of the whole car. These are halogen headlamps designed pretty much for the highway. The high beam is extremely strong. Every time you are turning right over here,
Yeah.
this lamp also lights up, and this gives you an extra coverage of this area, which is a little beyond your driving. So in the hills, when you're taking those big curves, this is extremely helpful. It gives you a big space to express yourself in any way possible. The huge rear view mirrors are definitely robust, but also give you an extremely good view. They have really worked on these new handles which go in smoothly with the car, and altogether the little added rain water savers are also helpful. The rear of the car is really stylish, though I must say that I like the old school open change wheel design, because right now just getting the wheel out takes a bit of practice. No complaints as far as the design goes. Probably the only thing which could be thought about is how to use this extra aspect which we've seen in the new Innovas as well as the Fords, where they are using this for the lights as well. So on such a high car, maybe the lights can be a little higher as well, just to give a better view to the traffic at the back. Design from the outside gets the Ford. This one has created its own identity. Completely new design. The interiors are well done for a Mahindra. The infotainment is really cool. It's got chrome, a bit of a wood finish, as well as mostly plastic. But this little basic thing does the trick. It attaches well to Android as it does to iPhone. And when it came out, you could set the channels, you could take and disconnect calls, plus the various sources. Something very practical which I think should exist even today is the pen drive and the aux in. Now these are a little bit of old school. What we have here carries the basic information. I'm so good with the mileage because you can pretty much see them right here. You can see what your trip was doing, what sort of mileage you are getting out of it. When is the next, for example, now it is telling me that it's time to take it to the shop again. So every 10,000 kilometers this little toolbox kind of appears. I really like the beige and black color. Love the design. A 4 on 5 for the Mahindra. Driving pleasure for me is that when you are riding, you feel at home, you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel in control. Now that is all that this provides. Plus, on long drives, it's all about the view, it's all about observation. And this gives you a very good 360 degrees view because it has big windows, it has a high riding aspect. As far as acceleration goes, really awesome. Have never faced an issue because of the acceleration, even when the TUV was packed to complete. Oh no. The When you press the accelerator, this one accelerates. It does not refuse to accelerate at all. This one has the longest third gear of an SUV I have known. Meaning that from 20 to 80, you will not get the engine groaning as if it was being pushed for too much. Once you get this one in third gear and you are in the hills, it can take you as low as 20 kilometers per hour. But if you want to accelerate, within no time, you will be shooting up to 80 kilometers per hour. That ensures that you can overtake easily and you don't have to keep on changing gears. Maneuverability, really good. So unlike, let's say, even the Innova, which tells you that the back is really heavy, this one performs really well anywhere between the speed of 80 to 100. Going higher, I would not recommend taking any sharp turns or trying any maneuvers on this one. Then it's pretty much a straight on road. After 120, it starts vibrating in extremely funny manner. You would experience some, it's also because the comparison at 120, it is doing completely smooth. The second you hit 125, it'll almost feel as if all four wheels are driving by themselves and in their own direction. Plus the body roll suddenly increases. Number on driving pleasure, till 100, 4.5, above 120, don't drive it. It has airbags in the front. They have never been tested. As far as the braking, pretty solid with the ABS. Also, what really matters is the tires. So don't save money on the tires, spend, and a good MRF or a good Apollo will really help you out over here. Braking has been tested a couple of times on high speed. I have braked and the ABS has really come in. Suddenly from 80 to 100 was a jump and then there was a turn. And I had to go full brake in order not to topple over the hill. And basically what happens is the brake goes in, it kind of gives you a small little kickback to ensure that the wheels do not lock in. And that made sure that the car came to a complete halt from a speed of 100 to 0 in a short distance of roughly 10 to 15 meters. Whenever you are braking, especially with a heavy SUV like this one, keep the steering straight, and that is the best way the ABS performs. It'll ensure that the car comes to a standstill and you have it in complete control.
Number on safety, please.
I'll give it a 4. I have never tested it in an accident and I don't want to. It's 90,000 kilometers, Leh, Kanyakumari, nothing rattles, nothing makes a funny sound at any speed. This is the plastic which is put on the car while it is being delivered when it comes to the showroom. And if you see this, these are not scratches, but this is actually the plastic inside and it's still not been able to come off. Many people have tried it. So this is a very small finishing touch which I think Mahindra can do a better job of. So on sturdiness, I would give it a 4. On finishing, I would give it a 3. As a package, a 10 on 5. It's peanuts what you pay in the servicing. For a driver like myself, because I'm a pretty rough driver, this one has really held through 90,000 kilometers and drives equally strong as it did the day I got it from the showroom till today. Has taken me to very beautiful places across the country, and if given a choice to get my next Jeep, it's probably going to be the top end model of the TUV.
Convinced me to buy this car.
If you're going into the car market to buy a Jeep, an SUV, this is the most solid brand out there, which is Mahindra. It has the greatest coverage across the country, and on top of that, the value for money part. Mahindra parts are available easiest, the service is the quickest, and probably the cheapest as compared to the other brands out there. The build quality is super strong and it gives you a good mileage, so yeah, spend that money and enjoy your ride. Wonderful car, choose a great color and have fun driving, drive safe, don't drink and drive. So if you like this review, and I hope you did, do comment, subscribe and turn on the notification. Press on that bell icon and you'll see the next reviews as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.